2 The Redline Productions proudly presents today's 2 The Redline review was made possible in part by
Hey YouTube! Well, it's my great pleasure to show you guys this 2011 Volkswagen GTI. Now, for those of you who have followed my channel, my personal channel, you'll know that Chief of Operations Jackson actually has a 2010 GTI, the white one. This one is an 11. 2010 is actually when the Mark 6 GTI came out. The 11, they kind of updated it a tad. They made those 18-inch wheels standard, which the Volkswagen calls those the Detroit rims. Not sure why they call them Detroit. I actually like them. They kind of give a mixed criticism from some people. Some people like them, some people don't. I really like them. The trim levels have been shuffled around. Instead of separate options like the HIDs or the nav, Volkswagen kind of paired it together. An 11 is actually when they just had the base. They had the GTI with convenience and sunroof. And then they also had the GTI with sunroof and nav, and then they had the Autobahn. So this one is a base. It's a 4-door base. Carbon steel gray is the color. It's actually a really nice color. This is the color that Jackson originally wanted. I think it looks good on the GTI. I personally myself would want the shadow blue metallic that's on the 12s. But nevertheless, the 18-inch wheels, the Detroit wheels, I really like them. Jackson says they kind of look like a cheese wheel or something. Or I had a coworker tell me that it also reminds her of one of those cigar cutters. But nevertheless, it's a very standout type of wheel. The wheel design on this car is really good looking. I personally think they look better and more stylish than the rims on the Focus ST. I think Ford definitely needs to put a more aggressive, stylish, unique wheel on the Focus ST. But nevertheless, the 11 models, not too much different from the 10s, and still a really fast, fun car. And I love how this one's the 4-door. For some reason, Jackson told me he thinks the 4-door looks like a minivan. I disagree completely. I think this car looks great as a 4-door, and the doors are a lot lighter as a 4-door, so that's personally why I like it as a 4-door instead. Coming to the interior, it's very familiar. It's still got the plaid interlagos seating that's GTIs are known for. The doors, like I said, much lighter, and you still have all your controls. Still the same flat bottom wheel. Now, still same Volkswagen key. This one only has 17,000 miles on it. And this one, the main difference on it is it does have the DSG transmission as opposed to the manual that's in ours. One fact though is I didn't realize you have to push the brake pedal to start this car. I guess they wanted to make it like a manual, so put your foot on the brake. And you have to push the brake pedal. I did not realize that. Anyways, let's shut the door to shut the dinger off. The gauges were actually updated in 2011. The 2010 that we have does not have the little red portion around the whole entire speedometer and tachometer. Ours just kind of has the red that goes from the Redline and so forth. This one, as you can see, does not have the touchscreen radio. That's just your base radio system, which I actually do like the touchscreen a lot more. This thing kind of just looks really dated to me. But nevertheless, this is kind of the cheapest GTI you could buy new. It's also missing the steering wheel audio controls. So you do not get your steering wheel audio controls, but you do get the paddle shifters because this one is the DSG. So they kind of moved the controls for the center screen from over here to over here. So you kind of access it by pushing the trip button here and stuff like that. In terms of everything else, you still have heated seats, you still have air conditioning, still same materials, really nice high quality materials throughout the car. Soft touch plastic there. A really nice mature design language in this car. That's what the GTI is known for. I went and I looked at a Focus ST over the weekend. That car's really nice. It kind of has blends of the GTI and the Speed 3. Personally, for myself, I still think the GTI has the nicest interior, but the Focus ST wasn't far behind. The seats are very comfortable. You guys have seen this before. Sliding adjustable armrest. Mostly I just want to show you guys how this car drives with the DSG because that's the biggest difference. Coming to the back seat, I love how this one's the 4-door just because you can access the back seat much better. The door panels are soft touch plastic, so they carry through from the front seats. Even the 2-door they've carried through with that, so that's really nice. You still have your vents back here, and there's very generous legroom in this vehicle. Very impressive legroom, and you do have an armrest over here with your cup holders and everything, so it's a very practical vehicle. So if you have a family and you want something that's fun, this car definitely fits your needs. Still open the trunk by pulling that with the classic Golf thing. This one actually has the cargo net and the all-weather floor mats, so that's a really nice addition. I kind of wish we had the all-weather mats. They look really good with the car. Still have the cargo cover, and it's a really practical vehicle. You get about 20 cubic feet with the seats up. Fold them down, it's about 42, I believe. is your familiar Audi Volkswagen 2-liter turbocharged direct injection 4-cylinder. TSI is the new generation, the old generation was FSI. Still makes the same 200 horsepower and 207 foot-pounds of torque, and a very torquey, nice power band. It doesn't have a peakiness or a lagginess that the Speed 3 gives you, and it gets really good gas mileage with the DSG. 2433 is your MPG with the DSG, so a little bit better than the automatic. And the DSG is actually quicker to 60 in acceleration, just because you'll see just how lightning fast the shifts are for this vehicle. All right, well, let's take you guys on a demonstration on how the GTI drives with the DSG. Now, Volkswagen actually says that the take rate for the automatic and manual is about 50-50. I can see exactly why. The DSG is a great transmission. I actually love it a lot with the DSG. I probably might have to, if I was going to buy a new one again all over again, I probably want to test drive them both and compare them. But I know the DSG is more expensive, but I actually love the way it shifts, and I'll show you guys exactly the reason why. This car is very fun to drive, very responsive steering, and it has a really good balance with ride and handling, despite the fact that the 18s are really low profile. You don't really notice it that much. And you can hear immediately the car's transmission shifts way faster than any human could possibly do that with a manual. And it's a much better transmission than even Ford's own DSG. Ford definitely, what they need to do is they just need to sit in a Volkswagen and drive their DSGs and how they've programmed them. I mean, the car has paddle shifters right here, and I can plop it into sport mode, and the shifts are just lightning fast. It's amazing. I love the DSG in this car. Audi Volkswagen is really the one that knows how to build a good DSG and program it well. I mean, it's in 6th gear right now. It definitely revs lower on the highway than the stick, and you can just, it'll just downshift for you easily. And it makes a really nice burp sound when you when you shift the gears. It's hugely addicting, so I can see exactly why. I mean, I love the DSG for that reason. I mean, it's just easier. I mean, of course, I'm a manual person. I love manuals, but I gotta say, this transmission is a very nice alternative. Even when it downshifts for you automatically, like a manual would when you're slowing down, it'll downshift a gear for you. It's just really, it reads your mind. The DSG in this car just reads your mind. It's a fantastic transmission. So if you guys are in the market for a hot hatch and you're thinking the automatic just won't do it, and even though you're a purist, you want a manual, give the DSG in this car a chance, because it definitely will win you over with how fast its shifts are and such. But anyways, guys, if you're in the market for a GTI, take a look at it, but also wait for the Focus ST to come out, because that's going to be a really hot car as well. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, here's some legal stuff for you. The views and opinions expressed in the following video may not necessarily reflect those of the title-holding automotive dealer or the entity they represent. All videos are filmed with permission by a professional driver on a set course with the collaboration and assistance of local law enforcement authorities. Do not attempt. Logos and brandings of vehicle manufacturers, dealerships, and online social media sites are the sole property of their respective representation, used with permission. The To The Redline logo, soundtrack, and web resources, as well as all other associated media, are copyrighted intellectual property of To The Redline LLC. All rights reserved.